time for some social studies review. So Friday, you were supposed to read and fill out this Chapter 5 Lesson 2 outline that was posted on Schoology for you. And I'm going to go over what should be in those blanks in those spots for that particular lesson. So I want you to make sure you're filling in, adding to, fixing whatever you need to fix as I'm going through this outline. Okay? So our religious life was Roman numeral 1, and it's Puritans live their lives based on their religious beliefs. So religion was very important to them. Okay, and we talked about religion as part of the reason that they had moved and split and made their own colony. Okay, they wanted to create something new and do something on their own as opposed to following the rules of others. Part B, how they lived. I'm trying to make this red ink so you can see the difference. How they lived, worked, and spent their free time all were based around their religious beliefs. Okay? If it didn't fit into their religious beliefs, then they didn't do it. There we go. All right, so how they lived, worked, and spent their free time was all based on religious beliefs. Okay? Part C, church services lasted most of the day. So they spent a lot of time there. Okay, those who missed church or spoke out against it were punished. And we see that some of them left. Remember, we saw that a lot of them left to create different colonies for that reason. If they felt differently about the religion in Massachusetts, they were punished and sent away. So when you read about Roger Williams and Anne Hutchinson, they were two that felt strongly that it should be separate from government. Church and government should be separated. So they were banished. They were told they had to leave. They couldn't be there. Okay, and then we see those other colonies are growing. Connecticut, New Hampshire. Okay, you read about 4 of them in lesson 1. And a lot of them had left due to religious beliefs. All right, so that's all of Roman numeral 1. Make sure you have those words in there. If I come down here, Roman numeral 2, everyday life. They lived, worked, and worshiped in their towns. Okay, this is looking for a vocab word. So a common area was used for grazing animals. They all kind of put their animals together and they all grazed in there. They worked together and survived and got the needs they needed by working with each other. Okay, economic. It's an important word. Economic needs were met by bartering, another important word. I'm going to talk about those two once I get them typed in here. Okay, so economics is how a town or a state, how they survive, how they make money, what they're known for. So different regions are known for different things. So if you think about those that are on the coast by oceans, they were known for fishing, right? They're fishing and catching whales, that kind of stuff. Here in New England, where we're reading about Massachusetts and them, they were more with the lumber and the trading of lumber and building ships and that kind of stuff because they had lots of forests available to them. So that was how they kept their economy going. Bartering is just trading, okay? How are we trading what you think your stuff is worth and their stuff and kind of making a system where you can get some of the things that you need, okay? So your needs, right? Food, water, clothing, those needs are met by trading with other places, other people nearby to your town. All right, part D, town blank was the most important building. Well, if you said church, that is correct. Okay, if you go back up here to the top, all of their life was based around their religion, their church, right? What they did, how they lived, where they worked, the free time they had. And if somebody didn't like it, they were punished. So that church was the most important building in their town. Okay. A lot of things, they had meetings there about government things as well. Part E, women. Oh, women's roles down here. Meetings. That's what I was just saying, wasn't it? Meetings were held to vote on laws and elect leaders, and those meetings were generally held at the church. Okay, the church building. Women's role, you might have put here that they prepared food. Prepared food and made clothing. That was part of their daily life and what they were in charge of doing. There we go. Men's role included hunting. Let me get my red back on here. Hunting. Oop, there we go. They worked in the fields. There we go. Worked in fields and guarded the town. And you might have had some other things in there. Hunting was a big one. Working in the fields. That's how they, again, how they met their needs. They needed the food. Okay, the hunting, the furs were good for trading and for making clothing. Fields, planting the crops. Okay, and they, of course, had to protect that town, whether it was from the Native Americans or it was from another explorer or other country trying to come in and take over. So they were guarding that town. All right, the last section then in lesson 2 that you read about was what the children in New England did. How was childhood like there? So life was hard. Okay, they had to help around and help out around the farm and the house and do what they could to keep things going. But they did find some time to relax. Okay, school, like today, was important then. Okay, but they were learning to read the Bible, and not all schools today do that because we believe that church and government should be separated. Okay, and we can believe in our own religion and we can learn what religious beliefs our family has decided are for us. Okay, so, but here, that's what they did in New England. School, they learned to read the Bible. All right, and remember, even here, some of those people still left because they felt differently about that. School is important, or school was short because, why? Well, they needed to work at home. Lots of things to do at home with fields and people to feed and animals. I mean, they didn't just go necessarily to a store and buy these things. They had to take care of it on their own. All right. That then is lesson 2. If you missed something, rewind it, go back, pause it, write it down. Okay, make sure you have those vocab words. I think there are only 2 vocab words for lesson 2 that you should have written down and defined last week. Today you're working on chapter 5, lesson 3. You're going to work on this outline as well as adding those vocab words to your notebook, just the vocab words. Okay, add those, get this filled in, and then we will look over this tomorrow on another video, and you'll be working on the study guide for chapter 5. So after Thanksgiving, on Monday, we will be taking the chapter 5 test. So keep that in mind. We're going to go through these next couple of chapters pretty quick, 5, 6, and 7, because we don't necessarily have to read lesson 1. We can watch that video and talk about it that way. So you'll have a test over chapter 5, November 30th, the Monday we come back from Thanksgiving. So this is your assignment today. Chapter 5, lesson 3, reading these pages, 214 to 219, and adding into your notebook the vocab words. The outline is already posted along with the lesson 3 PDF. So that's your assignment for today, and I will talk to you next time.